Hello and welcome to this week's Horse Racing Ireland 5 to Follow. We have two race meetings this week. Punchestown on Saturday, Martin, where racing begins at 12:40, and then on Sunday we're off to Navan.
Yes, indeed, Shane, and hopefully we'll do as well as we did last week. We had a good week. We had 3 winners, thankfully.
Well, you had 3 winners and 4 runners.
Yeah, that's right. Mazeltov didn't run on Sunday, but playing was a good price, 9-2, and we had Avondale Lady as well, and get out when you can. So hopefully we'll try and get the punters in the right direction again this weekend. And you're going to start us off with a big one there in the Cunningham Cup.
That's right. The first year of sponsorship for Connolly's Red Mills. They've stepped in this year, and I'm going to go for Hidden Crack in this amateur riders race. I think this lad is coming along nicely. He had a bit of a break there towards the end of last summer. He's had 2 runs since he came back. He ran behind Oscar's Business at Navan, where he ran quite well, and then was even more encouraging at Limerick at Christmas, where he was 4th behind Make a Track. That was over 2 miles and 3.5 furlongs. A big step up in trip this time, 2 miles 1 furlong, which I think is going to make all the difference. Obviously 20 runners, wide open, plenty in with chances. Francis Flood has 2 there, Too Late to Sell and Shelley's Creek. Prince of Milan is another, and of course down Drawn and Drank would be another horse in with a big chance. But as I say, 20 runners, wide open, and hopefully Hidden Crack will do the business.
Well, hopefully we'll get off to a good start. Of course, probably the best horse on show tomorrow is in the Moscow Flower Novice Hurdle, a horse called Vatour, trained by Willie Mullins. This one was most impressive when he won his maiden hurdle at Navan, and the second horse then, Lieutenant Colonel, went on and won impressively at Ferryhouse. I expect him to win, but I think he's going to be a very sharp price. There's no point in tipping him, but I think he will be good enough to win here. He could be a Cheltenham horse in time. So for the second selection, I'm going to go on to the 6th race in the card, the follow on Facebook and Twitter handicap hurdle over 3 miles. A horse here trained by Michael Horrigan called A Fine Young Man. Now, he was trained by Willie Mullins a couple of years ago, and he won a 3-mile maiden hurdle at Naas. He hasn't actually added to that victory, but in recent times he's been showing a bit more form. He was 4th to Punchestown on his penultimate start, which was a decent effort, and over Christmas then again he was 4th in a decent race at Limerick on very soft ground. Ridden by Paul Carby on this occasion now, I think the step up to 3 miles will suit him, and he's got a good each way chance in a race where he can make cases for the likes of Thunder and Roses and Miss Cyan, who was a winner at Ferryhouse on her penultimate start as well. So an open race, I think certainly A Fine Young Man, each way chance maybe 5 or 6 to 1. That's what I'd be hoping for. And then just to stay with Punchestown for our 3rd selection, the very last race in the card, the Punchestown rated hurdle over 2 miles and 4 furlongs. The likely favourite here is probably going to be William Mullins' City Slicker. They were slightly disappointing in the Ladbroke hurdle at Ferryhouse at Ascot last time out, ridden by Tony McCoy. He ran much too freely and just weakened to finish towards the end of the field. Before that, he'd won well at Punchestown. He is obviously a talented horse, and I think he obviously has a big chance tomorrow. But I'm going to oppose him at this occasion with one of Gordon Elliott's Unbow Matan, ridden by Brian Cooper for Geek and Sound Stud. This one was a good second last time out at Punchestown against Boston Bob on New Year's Eve. That was a very good performance. He's some decent form also in graded hurdles at Navan last season. I think in receipt of £4 from City Sticker, he could be the one for me. So that's why I'm going for my Unbow Matan in that last race tomorrow at Punchestown. And then on to Navan on Sunday, some very good racing there. And you're going to go for one in the opening race.
The first race in the card, that's right. I'm going to go for Shankall, trained by Noel Meade. This won't be as competitive now as the Cunningham Cup, although there are plenty of runners in it. But typically maybe over a maiden hurdle, only a handful really are going to probably get involved at the business end. Now Shankall has maybe, we're not sure what he has to do, because there's a horse returning after a very long absence, the Willie Mullins trained Acklan, who we haven't seen since running in the Irish St. Leger trial at the Curragh back in 2012. So given the fact that he's representing Willie Mullins, he's ridden by Ruby Walsh, really he could be anything at this stage.
Yeah.
Pity we haven't seen him probably for so long. But Shankall ran very well for my money at Leopardstown on St. Stephen's Day, and I definitely think he can step up and win this.
Yeah, a big field there with 24. And of course, again, looking at the card, it is some very interesting horses run at Navan. In the follow Navan on Facebook hurdle, there's only 4 runners, but all eyes here will be on a horse called So, trained by William Mullins. Yeah, he looks a very, very good horse. He still has an outside chance to maybe turn up in the champion hurdle. Now, we should win this very easily. There's no point in tipping him.
No, too short.
Too short a price he will be, but I think he certainly should win. Now, Flaxen Flair is a good horse, Gordon Elliott against him. he probably should chase him home, but I'd be very surprised if Underso doesn't win again. And later on the card in the EBF Novice Chase, the 5th race, I expect Mad Brian to win, but again he's going to be very sharp price.
Right, okay.
So just to round off things then for this week, in the 5th selection in the 310 race, the Foxtrot Handicap Chase, Great Sea event, 2 miles and 4 furlongs here. Interesting race. Lena Barney, a former winner of the Irish Grand National, has a bit of a chance here, I think, off top weight. He ran fairly well over hurdles last time out at Ferryhouse in about November time. That was a decent effort, and I think even off 11.10 he should go well. But I'm looking at the very bottom horse here, a filly called She's Got Grit, trained by Terence O'Brien in Cork. A good winner at Ferryhouse last time out, and the form was boosted somewhat last week when the third horse, Avondhu Lady, went on and won at Cork last Saturday. I think She's Got Grit has won a couple of hunter chases in the past. The soft ground won't be a problem for her. She looks to be an improver against some horses that maybe are not in the best of form, the likes of Shinrock Paddy and some kind of superstar. I think She's Got Grit on the upgrade might just be the one. And there's also a race in England this week, Shane. The Talbot Hurdle, of course, which was abandoned last week in Sandown, is now going to be held at Kempton. And the interesting one here again is Willie Mullins' Pazo, going to be ridden by Ruby Walsh, has won twice this season, and should put up a good performance. But that's a Kempton Park tomorrow, and of course next week we're off to in Ireland then, Shane. 2
more race meetings next weekend, Martin. We have Naas on Saturday, and a big day then at Ferryhouse on the Sunday, where the Dan Moore Memorial Handicap Chase is the big one. Yeah,
one of those long-standing races in Irish racing. Hopefully it'll be a good race as usual. So let's look forward to there.
Hopefully, absolutely, yeah. And hopefully the weather keeps up.
Absolutely.
So that's it for this week. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter and on our website, goracing.ie. Bye for now.
Go Racing. Go online. GoRacing.ie. Horse Racing Ireland's official website.